Hey guys, here with another tool review. What I've got this time is a Stanley Black Chrome 123 piece set. Like most tool companies, a full warranty, lifetime on the hand tools. I'll open it up and look at it, and right off the bat, first thing that I'd like to point out, if I can get the socket out of there. Two things. Right on the front, that silver right there. I don't know if the camera's going to focus in on it, but they laser etch in the sizes. And when you're looking at it right in front of you, it's really easy and really quick to see the size. Unlike some tools, like I have some snap-on sockets, and they use a roller, and it imprints the brand, the part number, and the size into it. And I think it's kind of difficult to see, and they also do it upside down, which really annoys me. They make good sockets, but I prefer the laser etching. I think it's a lot quicker to just look and see what size it is. And the other thing that's nicer about this for a low-end tool is the profile on the deep sockets. Most deep sockets, like if you look at a Craftsman, and when I say profile, I'm talking about this section from here to here. On a Craftsman, that thin profile will stop way up at the top. They usually don't go down any further. On this one, that thin profile stays about halfway down the socket, which is nice for when you're trying to get into really tight areas. So, sockets aren't too bad. Moving on to the ratchets. Ratchet, I mean, they look nice. You know, they have a decent profile head. In comparison to, like a snap-on or a gear wrench, Matco, they're about the same profile head size. They've got the quick release. And I want to say these are 44 teeth. I can't remember if it said it on the front. Doesn't say it on the front. But counted the clicks. I want to say they're a 44 tooth ratchet, which isn't bad. Craftsman's, I think, got 36. And it's got some nice smooth movement. The one thing I don't like about these is you can feel that they require a decent amount of torque to actually engage the next tooth, whereas in a higher end ratchet they would engage a lot easier. So if you're in an instance where you can really only get one hand down to a place and you're holding it like that and trying to turn it to tighten up a bolt or a nut or something, you're going to have that bolt tighter before you can start actually ratcheting freehand without having to hold the socket. Whereas a higher end ratchet will require less torque to actually turn it, so it'll engage the next tooth much easier. And the 3/8 drive ratchet is the same way. I mean, you can even hear it. It's kind of loud. It doesn't have a nice, soft, smooth motion. But overall, this set was $49 from Walmart, so pretty cheap. Pretty cheap to get this much stuff. Get all these sockets, ratchets, Allen keys, bit driver. So for the price, it's not bad. I think I paid $40 just for my 3/8 gear wrench ratchet, and this whole set was $49. So the Allen keys, they're not bad. They didn't do the laser etching on these. You probably can't even see this in the video, but right there is where they marked them. It just looks like it's stamped. They do that on a lot of these. Thankfully, they have the size on this too. For quick identification, Craftsman on their set that I got did not have that. They just packaged them freely, and it's almost impossible to figure out which size is which. They've got the nut driver attachment here. Once again, these things are really held in here pretty hard. Hopefully that'll loosen up eventually. You know, it's not bad, pretty basic. Handle feels a little cheap. Doesn't have like an ergo grip or anything like that. But once again, that's what you're going to get for $49. You know, 3/8 sockets, pretty much the same as the 1/4 inch. This is a 6-point set, by the way. All these sockets are 6-point, which I always recommend to use a 6-point if you can. Only use a 12-point if you absolutely have to. But overall, for 49 bucks, it's not a bad set. I got it because I'm starting more tech classes in the fall, and I needed more sockets and some ratchets to bring to school. And I've already spent like 10 grand on the rest of my tools for work, and I really didn't want to have to spend unnecessary money on a socket set that I'm going to use for a year and then probably sell on Craigslist. So overall, it's not a bad set. If I did keep this, I would only keep this for like at-home use. Personally, I don't think this would make a good professional set. I don't think the ratchets engage smoothly enough, you know, with a little torque. And I don't think they would work good in tight situations where you can only really get one arm in there and you can't hold on to the socket with the other hand. And in terms of profile, I like the Matco and Snap-on ones. Even though it's kind of a pain to read them, their profile on this would go all the way to about here. So it would just be the very base that would be thick enough for to fit onto the ratchet, and then the rest of it would hold that thin profile, which makes it very easy for you to get into really tight situations. And I would rather sacrifice being able to read it easily and, you know, have more maneuverability with it. Overall, though, it's not a bad socket set. I think it worked good for like at-home applications, or anyone that's looking for just a cheap set to do like some do-it-yourself brake jobs and stuff like that. So overall, not bad. You can get this set at Walmart. It's $49. And hopefully you'll see me next week. I got some more stuff coming in. I got a Steelman Pro 24-inch Cobra Series ratchet in 1/2-inch drive coming in that I'm going to do a review on. So I'll see you next week for that.